Yeah, chalo. Very good morning. Uh, we started with a very important remedy. If you all remember, must be some 2 classes we have already dedicated to this particular remedy, and the remedy was Barretta cup. Okay, I have given you the mental symptoms of Barretta cup in the first class, and in the second class we have discussed the pathogenesis, the ailments from the physical appearance and the characteristic symptoms. As promised in the last class, I'll continue with the particular symptoms of Barretta cup. Before I take up the particular symptoms, do you have any questions to ask from what we have already learned in Barretta? Any quick questions or any clarifications? If there are no questions, if the concept is clear, if the things are fine, then let's not waste time. We'll continue with Barretta. Okay. So at least last class, I spoke to you about characteristic symptoms, the pathogenesis, the ailments. Very, very, very important. And one common complaint I always get from students is that particular symptoms are very boring. And every remedy has head to toe symptoms. Remembering head to toe symptoms is more confusing, is more worrisome, is more hectic because majority of the polycrest they have symptoms from head to toe, and this is where the students also get a little diverted, a little confused. How do I study the particular symptoms? So keeping Barretta as an example, as requested by many, I'll also give you a small formula how the particular symptoms can be made interesting. And particular symptoms are also very, very important. Mind and body. And particular symptoms are those symptoms which are related to the body. Okay. So as a homeopathic student, you know that there is a beautiful relationship between mind and body. Without mind's permission, body will not do anything. Okay. So if there are some bodily symptoms in a remedy, then that also reflects the mental attribute or the mental characters of a particular person. Having said this, how do we make particulars interesting? Or what is that formula, or how do we study particular symptoms? This is the big question. So the very important thing that you need to understand here is, like, we have, one second, what is this? Okay, so there is something that is very, very important. Technical issue, what happened? You and can, okay, one second. Let me quickly fix this. Okay, so anyway, we'll just go ahead, we'll see. There's some problem. Shivraj Patel, like now, what happened? Why this is not moving? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yes. Okay. Anyway, this is yeah. It started working. So what you need to understand here is, if you have to understand the particular symptoms, you have to understand few very important things here. Now, what are those few very important things you need to understand here is, first very important thing is, to understand particular symptoms, you should know the sphere of action and pathogenesis of a given remedy. This is a very important ingredient to understand the particular symptoms. I'll explain this a little later. See, another very important ingredient which makes particular symptoms interesting is knowing the ailments from. So if you know the pathogenesis, if you know the ailments from, and if you know the PQRS, the characteristic symptoms of a remedy, and being a third year student, you should also have a knowledge of the allied subjects. Okay, for example, your pathology, your surgery, your forensic medicine, your gynecology, the medicine. If you know all these things, the organon, okay, you'll not be so much exposed to repertory, but knowing repertory at this stage is a boon. But minimum you should know organon, you should know pharmacy, you should know pathology, and if you apply all these things, then particular symptoms becomes very interesting. So at least these three parts I've explained in the last class, and last class I was very clear. Please go through these three topics so that today's class becomes very interesting. Okay, so what I'll do is I will try to talk less in this class, meaning you can start contributing as a third year student. For example, if I am giving the head symptoms, we are going systematically from head down. Now, if at all we are discussing Barretta under the head of Barretta, what are all the probable symptoms that will come up in Barretta? That is what you students can slowly start contributing. It's an online class. You might be having Alan's keynote or you might be having Dubey next to you. So sincerely close those books and open your mind, meaning start giving tasks to your mind, start thinking and start applying. Okay. So I'm looking at the chat box. So underhead, take your time. Yes, underhead, what do you expect? I get a lot of inputs in the chat box. Very good. It could be as simple as hair fall, or it could be something as serious as baldness. Very good. So baldness in vertex, yes, good. Anything else that you can think of? Good. Okay. Yes, I'm happy. Good. Keep it up. So yeah, Padmini also contributes something that I wanted. Yes, good. This is something that we have already discussed in the characteristic symptoms. Barretta has a tendency to cause balding. And there was also a beautiful statement given, baldness in young. Baldness in young. Okay. So young people who tend to lose hair, who tend to go bald. This is the syphilitic manifestation of Barretta. Okay, 19 years, 21 years, they would have lost so much of hair. They would have gone into early balding, early senility. So balding in young. That was the first point. Many of you got it right. Good, keep it up. And second very important thing is, see now homeopathy is beautiful. Meaning, when somebody comes to you with baldness, again keeping the knowledge of anatomy in your mind, we will be looking at which area the person is balding. Okay, and from the knowledge of the last class, Barretta has a tendency to lose hair in the vertex. Okay, so tomorrow you need to be very clear. Barretta has a tendency to bald more in the vertex. This is a very important point. So there can be hair fall, there can be alopecia, rightly said by many of you, and then there can be balding. Okay, there can be balding mainly in vertex. See, another point many of your friends have contributed, you told vertigo, and I want you to be more precise. Vertigo, good. Vertigo in whom? Okay, somebody asked me a question last time, extremes of life. Please keep all those things in your mind and you start applying it in today's class. Very good. So many of you are coming with the right answer now. So vertigo in old people. Again, you got a lot of remedies in Materia Medica. But tomorrow you have a person who is acting very childish, very immature for his age, is old, and then is having vertigo. One remedy that should come to your mind will be will be Baretta cough. Vertigo of old people, and it is associated with nausea, and it aggravates when they stoop. On stooping, it aggravates. And lifting arms up. See the modalities. For an allopathic doctor, vertigo on lifting hands or vertigo on stooping may not make a big difference. But as a homeopathic doctor, the modalities play a very important role, and you should not miss the modalities. See, when lifting arms up or when he's stooping, there is vertigo. You can also have some eruptions, some crust on the scalp that might be present. So we will not give much importance to that. It might be there, but this is what I want you to remember as a third year student. Like for example, what is it? Uh, Hair loss, balding, and vertigo. Now, quickly from the anatomical order, what do you expect under eyes? In eyes, in Baretta, what could be the pathology? What could be the probable pathology that might come up? See, you don't see more of inflammations here. You don't see more of conjunctivitis. Okay. Baretta is which miasm? Predominantly which miasm? Predominantly which miasm? Yeah, I mean some issues with the internet. Okay, good. So predominantly psychosyphilitic. I don't know how much of miasms are over in your organon, but if miasms are over, then all inflammations are soric. So here, okay, if it is not over, good. I mean, I can't expect uh, relevant answers from you because miasms are yet to be covered in organon. Okay, but remember, you have three basic miasms: psora, psychosis, and syphilis. Psoric manifestations, you'll have more of inflammation, and in psychotic, you tend to see more of growth, and in syphilitic, you tend to see more of destruction, more of ulcerations. Okay, this is what, as a material teacher, I'm just trying to give you. But your organon teachers, they will give you a beautiful picture of the miasms. Please do concentrate and understand. We'll get back to Baretta. So Baretta eye. Now, as a third year student, you'll also be exposed to ophthalmology. Now, that is what I'm trying to correlate. So, this being a psychosyphilitic remedy, what pathology we basically expect here is, see here you see more of a condition, and that condition I'll show you the pic. Must be looking at the picture, you can identify. What is this? What is it that you get to see in the image? What do you get to see here? Do you see anything? Yes, very good. Yeah, good. Nazreen, Padmini, yeah, good. Lekha, yeah, many of you have got it absolutely right. If you see this, the lens, it has become opaque. Okay. So, cataract, one of the very important remedies for cataract. See, don't conclude tomorrow you have a patient with cataract, he should be given or she should be given Baretta. Baretta is one of the remedies for cataract, and Baretta will have its own picture. If that picture, if the patient fits in, you can think of cataract. Okay, you can think of Baretta in cataract. So one very important remedy for cataract. So this is the only thing I want to highlight to you under eyes. They also give in books the lids will be inflamed, the lids will be uh, in a very different psychotic manifestations where you see chronic induration of the lids. That also you can write. But cataract is one thing I want you to remember. Okay. Now, yeah, sorry. Now, ears. As we discussed, it should be more of interactive. Now, what do you expect under ears? See, when I ask you this question, what should your mind start thinking is, your mind should start thinking about the anatomy. Go back to your first year. What are all the structures we have in the ear and physiology? Okay. And then comes the pathology, then comes the ENT, and then comes the application, materia medica. In few seconds, your mind should work so fast. If you are Berettas, if you are a Beretta constitution, your mind will not work so fast. Okay, but I assume majority of you in the class are not Baretas. Okay, the kind of answering that you are giving, I mean, very good. So yeah, see, a lot of things come to your mind. See, somebody they are contributing what it is. Do we have discharge in Barata? Now, it's a good thought, but go back to the sphere of action. In this sphere of action, did I mention anything about the secretions, the lymphatics, or the suppuration under skin? Did I mention anything like that? Now, Pujita has put a question mark. What is that question mark she has put? She says, "Sir, hearing loss." Many of you have contributed a lot of things like otitis media, suppuration. Good. Yes. Glandular swelling is there, no sir. Padmini. Yes, good. Agreed. Loss of hearing at an early age. See now, I'm very happy the way you are thinking. Probably during my third year BHMS, I wouldn't have thought the way you are thinking. Keep it up. Good. Fine. So what you need to understand here is Baretta is a remedy acting on the nerves. It is a remedy acting on the glands. Then, so what you have to remember here is this point in Baretta. Now, what is that point? That it's a very good remedy for hearing loss. A very good remedy for hearing loss. Now, what causes hearing loss in Baretta? That's the next question. That is where your sphere of action and pathogenesis play a beautiful role. Okay, somebody says old age. Could be old age. Beyond old age. Beyond old age. Think beyond that. As a third year student, what you need to realize is the auditory nerve. The auditory nerve goes into paralysis. Auditory nerve is the nerve which supplies to your ear. Okay, if I'm right. So that nerve, that what the sound waves are, that hearing pathway, that will get disturbed because the auditory nerve will go into paralysis. So hearing loss in old people or hearing loss due to paralysis of auditory nerve. This is the complete sentence. Apart from that, many of you have contributed the right answer. I'm very happy. Good job. What was that many of you have contributed? It's a glandular remedy. So again, from third year in your clinical classes, they'll be telling you there are plenty of glands, lymph glands around the neck. So all those, if you just see pre-auricular, post-auricular, or the cervical group of lymph nodes, all those glands can be enlarged. Okay. So to make things very easy here, you don't see suppuration, not much of suppuration in Baretta, but you'll see more of hearing loss, and you will see the affinity for glands in Baretta, wherein the lymph glands around the ears get inflamed. Are you getting it? Now, this is how you have to apply the material part and, of course, the allied subjects. You integrate, then the particular symptoms become equally interesting. Hope I'm clear. Okay. So now before I go ahead, are you following what I'm trying to tell? Again, online class, I can't see your faces. Max, you can say yes, or Max, you can type no if you're not clear. But I hope you're getting an idea. Yes, yeah. So few of them have said yes. Chalo. So, okay, good. Chalo, if you have followed, I'm happy. Now we'll continue teaching, or we'll continue the learning process similar way. Now we'll talk of face. Now what happened? We spoke of head, we spoke of eyes, we spoke of ears. Okay, we'll talk of nose. What do you have under nose? What do you expect in Baretta? What do you expect in Baretta? So there can be what do you expect? What did we see in the characteristic symptom? That it has got a tendency to catch cold. So thick nasal discharges could be a probable thing. Okay. Beyond that, we will look at the face. Yes, this is again an area I feel you can contribute a lot here. What do you expect under face of Baretta? Just use your common sense. Don't look into your books. There is nobody to monitor you if you're looking into your books or not. Be sincere. Think what could happen under the face of Beretta. Mega has given, Deepika also has given a very valid point. I appreciate. Good. So what is it that they're trying to tell you is, sir, they will have premature senility. Good. And Arpitanjali has a point. Sir, neuralgia. And she also continues telling, sir, it's a remedy acting on nerves. Could be it can also cause neuralgia. Very good thinking. Good. Facial paralysis. Beautiful. Good. Okay. And Shirin says some sensation. So I lock here. Now, all what you have contributed, they're absolutely valid and beautiful job. Keep it up. Good. So now we'll take each of them individually and we'll try to understand. Now, again, I've taken from Google Images. Now, one beautiful thing that you should remember in Barata. Somebody spoke of old looking. Can any one of you think of another important expression of Barata? What is that important expression of Barata? I told you in the last class. Yes, very good. Mega. Before somebody tells something else. Vacant face. Beautiful. Blank face. Now, this is how you get the Baratas. Blankness. Yes, that vacantness. When you question Barata, you see a lot of blankness. You will feel sorry for questioning him. That is the kind of face, that is the kind of expression he gives you. So that vacant look is Barata. And we'll go to the second expression, second look of Barata, old looking. Premature senility is somebody who has commented this. Yes, facial expressions are blank, they are old looking. And if I'm right, Shirin, if I got the name right, she was talking of a sensation. I should have asked her what is that sensation she is talking of. The sensation in Barata is cobweb sensation. Okay. So many times, you feel like wiping your face, you feel there's something, or you feel like a kind of a dryness. Okay. So typically in Barata, which is also very prominent in remedies like graphites, which is there in your third year syllabus, also prominent in bromium and other remedies. You'll slowly get to know those remedies. So that what cobweb sensation, sensation of dryness, a sensation of something, when you have this cobweb kind of a feeling, not being clear, that kind of a sensation is what you have in Barata. The last point, if I'm right, Arpitanjali, she contributed this point. And what was this? Facial paralysis. A remedy acting on nerves, yes, it causes facial paralysis. One side of the face, you know, goes into paralysis. Very happy, good job. Third is you have contributed all the 4 points. I have not contributed anything here. Good job. Now going ahead. Now which will be the other organ or which will be the other part that we'll be taking up after face? We'll talk of mouth. So quickly, can I have some inputs? What do you expect on the mouth? You're doing a great job. You're applying the knowledge of your allied sciences, and of course, Bharatata beautifully you're applying. Good. See, Lekha, no problem. She says tonsillitis. Tonsillitis, with due respects, will talk under throat. Lekha, we're talking of mouth. Okay. Fine, swelling of gums. Okay, good. Yeah, Shreyansh has a point here. He's given you the entire statement. The nerve goes into paralysis, and then there will be paralysis of the tongue. Beautiful point. See, many of you contributed bad odor. What is it? Bleeding gums. Good. I have absolutely got nothing against it. But that's the point I wanted. The tongue goes into paralysis. Yes, the tongue goes into paralysis. Good. Now, because the tongue goes into paralysis, the speech will be not clear. When the talk, because tongue is an organ for speech. and that is paralyzed. So the speech will be a little difficult to understand. Okay. Now that in Barata is because of paralysis of the tongue. A very valid point. Another very important and simple thing you missed. Many of you were talking of gums, but none of you thought of tooth. Okay, none of you thought of tooth. So toothache. Again, plenty of remedies for toothache. So can I quickly have some remedies for toothache before we go further? Good. Can I have some remedies for toothache? Okay, good. Brayania, chamomilla, beautiful. Keep it up. Okay, again chamomilla, again Brayania, very good. So pulsatilla, we have chamomilla, we have mug, we have got creosote, staphysagrina, many remedies. Silesia, good, good, very good. Keep it up. Bright future for GHMC and bright future for homeopathy. Okay. In Barata, when do they have toothache? That's again very important. Toothache which comes before menses. Toothache which comes before menses. Okay. So now after tooth, we'll talk of throat. Okay. Now before we talk of throat, I feel the class will end in next 5-10 minutes. So what we'll do is we will close and again we'll rejoin. Now before we rejoin, a quick recap. We are talking of the particular symptoms. We spoke of head, we spoke of eyes, we spoke of ears, we spoke of face, and we also spoke of mouth. So we'll be going lower down. Anatomically, we'll be going lower down. Okay. So we'll quickly, log out and we'll rejoin. Hope that should be fine. Okay. So I'll end. We'll rejoin again. Thank you.